want to say that today was a wonderful evening with Nader, and Rush really asked a very good question about the community, the BitCloud future too, and I think that we built it. We were building it for a long time, and we will not let it just stay like a, there's a monument or just the very first note. I think that everybody's interested for BitCloud to develop too. And thanks, Rush, again for this question to Nader. And so he announced these changes of the BitCloud node next week, and I hope that there will be some steps for mass adoption to BitCloud itself too. What do you think?
Coinbase is coming for sure.
And, I saw the post that Brock was saying about inviting his sister and the influencers that he has as friends, and Nader responded, like we got a hot mic. Josh, you can mute.
Yeah, so Nader said not yet, but soon.
Yeah.
Someone mowing the lawn?
So yeah, Nader said, hang tight, basically. And so it just seems like this referral program and this new UX for bitcloud.com, or the new gem, or whatever the new social network that people are talking about, I think that's going to be the next kind of gasoline on the fire that he keeps talking about. And right now it's first DeSo blockchain announced that, and then boom, new social network built on it, and then referral program. Super exciting to see these next steps bring the daily active users up. I tried to recruit some of my friends onto the platform, and it was such a painful process. So I imagine when that new onboarding is set up and streamlined, it's going to be like fire. Like 2 steps, 2 clicks, boom, you're in. Everything's fast. You don't have to wait for Merlin to deliver your $15. It'll be all fast, tip top. And I think once that happens, it's going to change the game, because people are not going to just come and post and be like, what happened? They're going to actually get the engagement. There's going to probably be a new recent feed for new people so that we can welcome new users in. I think those are the kind of enhancements that are going to accelerate the growth and the DAU. And with 10.5 whatever million in circulation, that's such a limited amount that people are going to need to get that clout. There's going to be a high demand, and that price will naturally intend to rise as people come on board.
Sounds good. Really sounds good, and I hope it will be like you say, because a lot of people left, and when you check their accounts, you see that last time they posted 50 days ago, 100 days ago, and I really want all these people back, because a lot of a lot of talented creators joined, and the quality of this audience is very high. But they were disappointed with lack of attention to their personalities. You understand that they had only several likes, and they used to big attention on Instagram and everywhere. A lot of my friends just left because they are popular in their real life, and they just didn't understand what was going on. And I really hope that this problem will be solved in the new node, because I want all these people back, and I will make a lot of a lot of work I will make to turn them back. Just want this hype again as we had in March.
All right. I'm going to turn that loud ass fan off in the back. But we are live on DeSo now. If you guys could reclout the link, hopefully we can get all the community that may be up and wanting to talk about the town hall. We are live on DeSo.
I really love this new name, DeSo. It sounds very good.
Okay, my bad. I had to turn off my fan because it was too loud. That was exciting. Yikes. Um, the memes are gonna last for days. I know people are working on them right now. There was a lot of questions that I still want to continue the discussion. And I think it's beautiful because we're at the beginning of a transparent conversation. You know what I mean? With a real stakeholder who's got real skin in the game, who wants this to succeed, probably more than we want it to succeed. And that's crazy, right? So I'm extremely bullish. I'm also extremely still concerned for that rush, that gold rush of people moving out west, right, or moving out DeSo, and not being ready for the sleight of hands. The NFT space. I mean, copy minting is an issue everywhere, obviously, right? The whole NFT game is obviously an issue. If you know, aware of Nate and the whole OpenSea thing and everything else, right? But like, how can we stand out amongst all the NFT platforms beyond being a social network of blockchain that's working together to build solutions? To me, it's protecting creators. Like if we really, you know what I mean? I would imagine developers it's a different mentality, right? They can open source things and they want that transparency of everybody. But for creative artists, historically, we've been abused in many ways, and different factions of people for different reasons. But at the core of it, like, we're in this new renaissance, this new future where the real opportunity for creators now is to get the middleman out the mix. You know what I mean? And as people who want to be fans, who want to be collectors, who want to support people, they want to know that they're really supporting a human being, not a bot, not a hustle, you know what I mean? But a real person, a real human with a real story, hopefully doing real dope things in the world. Not a charade of it, but like real authentic action. And if that's just with one person saving a life, like, okay, you know what I mean? But right now, you know what I mean? Everybody's aware, specifically programmers and hustlers are aware of the opportunity in this new crypto space, right? And so they're finding the weak links, they're finding the holes in the strategies, and they're just rinsing and repeating and doing the same thing with different people's art, and that's BS. The fact that Super Rare has a awesome vetting process, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we can absolutely get there in a space so that collectors are protected, so that the node operators, that risk is mitigated, because without it, it all seems suspect. And not suspect in that, somebody's trying to do uberly nefarious things, but I mean, at the end of the day, people got bills, people got things to pay for, and if it's easy, dang well somebody's going to try to figure out how to do it. And so I don't know, I'm kind of rambling. I mean, in that space, it's just one of the things that I wish we could have talked more about on the NFT side. I think that conversation will probably come after the phase 2 rollout, where we know for a fact that we can burn NFTs, because I've got some copy minted stuff that I don't want in my wallet, you know what I mean? And I would much prefer to burn it and make sure that nobody ever repeats that mistake, versus that person changing their name a little bit and doing the same thing with 20, 50, 100 new booties who come to the platform with their crypto ready to support and ready to build, you know what I mean, and not know where to put it at. Diversity, equity, inclusion, having just the diverse people up there speaking was great. They're definitely leaders, all of you in the community. And I think that was just a really smooth, efficient, effective, use of the time to really, one, just get introduced to Nader. You know what I mean? Like, you see the pictures and things like that, but when you can hear somebody coming from a place, an authentic place, in an intimate setting like we were, and just be truthful with, his vision, and that vision aligned with, the spirit of what we're trying to do, well, then we form like Voltron and we roll out. You know what I mean? So the work that we've put in, I'm been, 10,000 block represent, but, we got 100,000 blocks to go. You know what I mean? Just to get this bad boy rolling. And then the metaverse is here, and it's going to be a whole different conversation. So I just love y'all. I have all my concerns, all my fears, but I also have a whole lot of hope and belief in real people and humans doing things not to just take over for money, for financial gain, or for selfish reasons, but to really like start problem solving all of the issues in the world. Even if it's just one issue that you can recognize, like, let's just start knocking these things out, yo. Check them off. We need some trees because we almost lost the damn Amazon. Cool. Let's plant 1 million trees. Let's do it. Let's prove it. You know what I mean? Let's prove all the use cases. It's no ego. It's no one-upping. People could try to take your idea. They're never going to move with the passion that you do unless you just lose the passion for it. So just keep your hustle up, keep your feet up, and keep the energy right, man. It's contagious. It's contagious.
Sup, fam?
What up, G? What's good?
It's all good.
And you know what it is.
Yeah, dude, I am right now in active campaign of war.
Active campaign of
AGT.
war. Did you just say?
Dude, I am in the middle of a production for the
Okay.
North American market. It's called War of the Worlds.
Oh wow. Okay, like a little
And
war.
oh, dude,
You were
you have no
serious.
idea. It is on like Donkey Kong rebooted, and
Superfly.
I am throwing and not throwing barrels. I'm throwing mud.
Okay.
And anyone that I catch with FUD, dude, I am eating people alive.
Okay, for the new booties, and I am a new booty. What's FUD? Please define FUD for anybody who's always wanted to know what that means. Because I be
Alright,
thinking
so
a HUD, and that's a whole different
Yeah,
thing.
DSD.
That's a
I'm gonna
whole-
give you guys the expanded version.
This OZ?
So
Because I'm not even looking at my screen. Is this OZ?
no, this is OG. This is not
OG,
this
my
is the guy
bad.
in the
Yeah,
hat.
my bad. Yes. Okay. Bless.
So FUD, fear. Oh, sorry. What is it? False evidence appearing real, and
Ah.
uncertainty and doubt.
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Fear,
Yeah,
uncertainty, and doubt. And people peddling
that's it.
that, right?
Dude,
Right.
everybody that is like every maximalist is guilty of FUD
Right.
because while they
That's what it's called.
are, yeah, that's it. Right. So the opposite to FUD is mud. And what's mud? My unilateral decision. Because everybody outside of the metaverse is stupid. That's why they haven't joined the metaverse yet. And so long as they're stuck both feet in the universe and they haven't started to go digital yet, then it's a very difficult conversation because they're on the verge of becoming deprecated and they don't know. And like people who can't appreciate Garbo and the scientific method, then they're not ready. They're still children, and as it's triggering for people to hear that. But that's the job of adults to listen past the triggers and still continue to teach anyway. Like people carry on with tantrums and listen. I never realized. I thought it was just a clubhouse thing that people were so easily triggered.
Hmm.
And then I left Clubhouse and started, actively, shilling the guy in the hat outside of Clubhouse and getting my city because like there's enough, spotty, like all the drive-through people in my town know me, right, as the guy in the hat. But
Nazer, it's me. It's Michelle. I'm just gonna interrupt you. Can I
Thank
ask you a
you.
question? I'm sorry.
oh,
I need to ask you two questions.
hmm
First, how's the baby?
baby is living up to her name, the life of peace and prosperity. You know,
Beautiful. Good. Second is, were you in the Discord tonight?
no, I am not. I do not use Discord,
Okay,
and I
beautiful.
am like officially on mat leave until
Awesome. Well, this is great because you just entered the perfect space because like I'm gonna guess that like 98%, maybe 90% of the people in this space just listened to it and just left. So we're gonna like talk about it if you want to hear about it. That's probably what we're gonna talk about. And
sure.
yeah, and it was really really cool actually. Krasensteins were on stage and asked some questions, and Raj went on stage, and Matreshka went on stage, and
Yeah, I heard Diamond Hands was here.
yeah. So I'm gonna be super rude and just like I love you, and I just really want to get back to like the discussion about
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
what I'm
Thank you.
here
Diamond Hands
for,
was quiet.
Michelle. Let's
Love
go.
you.
Hey,
So
hey,
what do you think?
Michelle.
Yeah,
I'll
thank you.
go
I was
over
just gonna
some of
call
the.
on you. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, I could go over some of the key points that I think he talked about if you want.
That would be awesome. I missed it, and I read the title here that it's a recap and review. So, yeah, let's recap and review, please.
Yeah, so I mean, I just made a post, but I'll just kind of read over it because I think it's some of the important points. Next week, he said that there's going to be a big announcement coming about funding of creators, and there's going to be 3 different funding types, I guess you could say. Number 1, developers, and that includes developers who have already developed on the platform as well as developers who are beginning to develop on the platform. Number 2, NFT artists through buying NFT art and other ways as well. He didn't really get into too much of that. And small creators through buying their creator coins. The other huge thing that I thought was, at least what I thought was huge, in approximately 2 weeks, he didn't give an exact date, but he said next week's going to be the big announcement about the funding, and then probably the week after that is going to come a new node. And he didn't say it was going to replace BitClout.com, but that answer came in regards to somebody who asked when BitClout.com was going to be replaced. So to me, he's saying that a new node's going to come to replace BitClout.com. But I mean, you can take that for what it's worth. He also hinted that there could be a DeSo split in the future. So that's interesting as well. So like if you own 100 DeSo worth 124.47 per coin, and they do a 10-to-1 split, that means you're going to own 1,000 DeSo worth $12.45 each.
So
And there's a lot of different reasons why, there's splits in cryptos and stocks. It's mostly to make it more appealing to new investors. You see a lower dollar price, if it's only $12, you might attract more investors.
Hey Ed,
Yeah, sure.
so DeSo is Diamond Hands' new project.
No, DeSo's BitClout. So Clout turned into DeSo.
Okay, so BitClout is becoming DeSo.
It has become.
Hold on 1 second, bro. You just catching up?
Dude, I'm on mat leave. I am like that. Yeah, so that's the context that I didn't catch there, right? So
No, it's all good.
BitClout.
All good, bro. I would say hop on the chain and definitely catch up, man. Nader revealed himself as Diamond Hands. He's active on DeSo now, bro. And yeah, DeSo's about to be listed under DeSo. It's still showing clout right now on blockchain.com, but yeah, the process is already rolling. I love to hear that he said all the regulation. Hold on 1 second. All the regulation pieces are in place because that makes the whole Coinbase conversation feel way more secure than I think I've ever heard it, because it's always been from some other horse's mouth, So,
Yeah. I think that Coinbase is pretty much certain. He made sure everybody knew that he's doing everything kosher, everything's up to par, everything's up to regulation. There's nothing shady going on there, and essentially Coinbase has accepted them, it sounds like, and it's just they're just waiting for the right timing. And another big thing that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about is a verification system. We talked a lot about that. Thanks to Matreshka, who asked him that question. Nobody else asked him that, but I mean, I think that's a question we are all wondering about. And they're going to be the new verification system. He didn't say when it's coming. He said it's kind of backlogged because they're doing so much, but it's going to be based on associations where anyone on the platform can essentially give anyone else a verification. So, you know, I could verify Michelle, or I could verify Katie Ann, and it's going to be up to the node operators to decide which of these people verifying others are reliable and trustworthy. So the nodes can pick which I don't know how to say it, verifiers or the people doing the verification, which ones they want to trust and, you know, give check marks for. But he also said that there's going to be multiple check marks. So like different verifiers could have different badges, and a user could have multiple badges based on who they are verified by. And it doesn't just stop at, you know, people verifying them. For example, a university could verify that you attended that university by giving you a special check mark. So it goes a lot deeper, and that's something that Dr. Kat Cohen talked a lot about in the past that she wanted them to do. So I think that's really interesting. A few other points, Ethereum NFTs could possibly be brought into DeSo, which I thought was really cool. I like that idea. He emphasized how easy the DeSo wallet is in comparison to MetaMask and other Ethereum-based wallets. He also said he spoke to multiple NFT marketplaces, including OpenSea, and DeSo will be integrated into other NFT marketplaces. He said it's a question of when, not if. DeSo can be bridged with other chains. He said that it can be bridged with DeFi, and that's how they hope that staking will be used. There will be a bridge between DeFi and DeSo, and the staking would actually take place on DeFi for DeSo. And he said again, I think we all kind of knew this, DeSo is going to switch to proof of stake by year's end. And I think that's pretty much a recap. I'm sure I missed some stuff, but that's what I took out of it.
Oh man, thank you so much. That was perfect. That's all I needed. Thank you.
So one question I still have is that, so once they transition from Clout to DeSo, then there will be no more Clout? What'll happen to
it? The transition took place. They basically just renamed it. So, you know, Clout just became DeSo.
Yeah, but if you log into your account, my Negro, you will see that it's actually DeSo. Everything's kind of been rebranded other than the project's name Clout. So in due time, say a couple vignettes. There's going to be a whole new UX, UI, front end, and a whole bunch of other things. But it's DeSo from here on out.
I hope that they take into account all the onboarding, dramas that we've been shilling, and I don't know if anyone actually was keeping notes, but
yeah, and it's recorded, and you're going to be able to watch it like any day now. So, hey, I wanted to ask, I'm just going to steal the mic real quick. I wanted to ask you, Raj, what did you think? What was your overall take on the whole interview?
Yeah, thank you. I think the first part of it, I was getting a little lost in what he was sharing, and it was a little bit like just roundabout answering questions, but I kind of was like, this is not really getting to the heart of things. And I think just over the moderator, I think next time Michelle moderates it, let's vote for that.
I did favor? Volunteer, by the way.
Aye. Any opposers? Thank you. So yeah, that's decided. And next town hall, you do that because you'll get to the core of things. Today was a nice teaser. NF teaser, his little teaser for what's to come. I feel that his attitude is very positive. He is, inspiring, and I think that I'm very hopeful for what's to come. I don't think that he understood the magnitude, or at least addressed the magnitude of the fact that it's a single member board, and the fact that the whole governance aspects, I think he kind of went around it, that he asked the community, but I'm like, which community? So those were questions that were up in the air. But again, what it comes down to for me is, do I trust do I trust Natter's, that's how you say it, or do I trust Natter's vision and his execution so far? And I think that it's not perfect, but I think he comes back around to doing things that make sense. And so, do I trust what he's doing, that it's a one-person board right now? For now, fuck it. That's what we've got. I'm not going to sell DeSo. I'm not going to sell it because I find out it's one guy. I might just not tell people, hey, go put millions of dollars into this yet. Let's see how the DeSo Foundation unfolds, and let's see this as an invitation for us to have a voice in that, because the fact that he was so open to communicating the town hall tells me that we're the perfect candidates to be on this community council, community board, or whatever that looks like,
right,
to participate in DeSo Foundation. So
absolutely.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I'm done.
Are you good, man? I mean, to tack onto that, I just want to throw one more thing. Like, how often do you feel these town halls should be, Raj? And I'll pivot it to Michelle to answer just the same.
Yeah, I think at this point, a bi-weekly, like every 2 weeks, would be awesome, with some communications in between on BitClout, on the platform, and on some kind of boards, where we can communicate in between. I think every 2 weeks would be awesome for like a formal 2-hour, session with moderated and Q&A. I think that's awesome, and I think with structuring it, we'll get to the core of it, where we can address things on an ongoing basis. For now, in this stage of the development of DeSo, long term, that would lead to a new governance platform that's far more sophisticated and allows, voting and all that, on a distributed model. But that's something that I'm sure developers will come up with. I've seen Charlie Hilton have like user experience mock-ups for that. So I think that, that's where things are going to go. But until then, the more we can talk about it, the more opportunity there is to at least steer the ship together without it going into some weird direction, because now,
right,
regular conversations are happening.
Right. For sure. Michelle, what do you feel?
Yeah, so there's everything that Raj said, I'm 100% on board with. I think that, everything you said, I champion that. And, I would add to that there are people in the community, there are developers, there are, builders, there are artists that aren't always available at certain times, and they aren't always on certain platforms. So I would like him to, spread his wings and spread that message throughout different platforms in the community. And if he chooses one platform and says that's the platform, then choose that, and that's fine. And then we'll get that message out to the community, and we'll teach the community how to use that platform, and that's the platform to use. Right. And then also I'd like there to be like an agenda,
Yes.
I'd like there to be, this is what we're going to talk about, and then here's who's going to talk, and then here's the questions that we're going to, or whatever the topics or the changes or the implementations or whatever, right? And
have an open
there to be categories, so that, and I would like community to be one of those categories, because there was a lot of people in that room tonight that listened, that didn't understand a lot of what was said.
Right.
And those people
Right.
are our people.
Right.
Those people we are onboarding every single day. Those are our friends, those are our family, and they showed up and they didn't understand what the hell was going on. So I'm saying, like, let's have lots of conversations. Thank you.
Absolutely. Can I add one more piece? And who's trying to speak? I'm sorry.
It's Lisa.
Lisa.
I'm wanting to add a couple of things.
Yeah. Let me just add one piece, and I just want to throw it out there. Is can we activate the polls? For the town halls and things like that, whether it be before the agenda or before the meetup, you know what I mean, or after, because that might also just add value and perspective to, you know what I mean, whether things are being addressed or, action items, as a community, those type of things would be great.
DOZ, but then the poll is like, is it based on coin price? Or is it based on like activity?
No, when I'm saying polling, I mean like survey questions, right? Like,
yeah, and there's websites that you can do it not anonymous, and I can send those to you, like, guys.
What have you guys looked into Clout Poll? Because I believe, and Lisa, we'll go to you right after, but I think Clout Poll has it set up, so maybe it's worthwhile just testing it out. Just because I think it might be worthwhile to field some questions in a poll, just also to get the temperature of everybody in the space. Lisa, how you feeling?
Well, I like that idea a whole lot. I wanted to just shout out Raj for the question that he asked about reimbursing people. How many, the new people, not so much, maybe, everybody has done their different thing, and it's almost like people are going to have different areas of interest that concern them more than others. But the part about people who put all kinds of investment into, let's see, what was it? Mining nodes and stuff like that before, and then everything got switched and changed out, and people had put all this money in, and then they were like just burnt, like in a big way. Buying web page, sites and names, etc.
Right.
I thought that was just magnificent, because the people that have contributed from the very beginning, that have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears,
and Clubhouse hours.
Oh man! Is that not a fact?
Like, yeah, my phone.
Oh my gosh!
Electricity.
So I just thought it was all awesome. But it seems like if they could be like, okay, so like, say maybe somebody who is a promoter but not an artist, maybe they're not going to be concerned with the artist things, but the artists are going to be concerned about those things. The developer, or not maybe developer, but people who were developing, I don't know what's the right word for them exactly, but who had things happening that were
projects.
Pardon?
I think he just threw out projects, but yeah.
Let's
try not to cut
off. Word I was looking for.
Let's try not to cut off anybody unless we introduce ourselves at least.
So projects, no, but that is the word I was looking for. Thanks. And so, who've done so many projects and who really had a whole bunch of things going on there. There's areas for everybody. Not everybody, but I mean, there are certain key areas that I think are going to really matter in the end. And the other thing I wanted to say too is I'm excited about bringing people in, but not yet. I don't think it's time yet. Am I wrong?
Exactly. No, you're spot on.
It is not. It is not.
I don't think people understand where we're really at with it. Now we're having open dialogue and can change the trajectory and fix the holes before people come. If my grandmama, if my sister, if my boss came into this space right now, I would not feel confident introducing them to this space right now. I feel like there's still some policies and procedures we as a community, like this town hall, I feel like is one of those policies, right? Like we shall conduct bi-weekly town halls to tap the temperature of the community and answer questions, you know what I mean, about the development, the roadmap, where we going, you know what I mean, who's paying for it, who's got dinner, you know, all those things. Like, and I think that's
because
like what Michelle was talking about with the agenda. I think it may even start there, right? Like with the next, you know, let's draft something that at least starts to, I would say, outline our conduct and ethic as a community. When we're saying we're a community, this is what we're going to tolerate. You know what I mean? Me rambling.
Yeah, and regardless of format, you're hitting it when you say polls. It's just how do we pull the community's consensus on what's important to us, or what's valuable to us, or what's needed, or how we move, or how we fix. And I love that what is so easily been interpreted by many, dare I say, kind of outsiders or folks who've been at arm's length over the last 6 months see as drama, and it's really us building in public. It's really us airing our laundry in public and sorting stuff out and growing. It's been awesome. Keep it up.
I mean, it has two sides to the coin. So I think this is good steps, and like, you know, like I agree with like how early we are and like how many good things there are to come. But like, you know, I think the building in public thing, you know, as much as that's kind of true, everybody's sort of
Yo, Rhett, I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but you're not coming through all the way clear anyway. Try to get up on your mic a little bit better.
Got you. I'll circle back on this point.
Plenty of shit to highlight. Them SIPs, I'm not a developer, so I don't even know. Like, I'm gonna try to start getting more active on the SIPs and stuff, but I hope that I could just have a pen pal, you know what I mean, who will relay that shit for me. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's not perfect. Nothing is. We are 200 days in, y'all. We haven't even gotten to 365 yet. Most businesses don't last 365, let alone build an entire international worldwide network of, you know what I mean, train tracks. And now it's up to us to build the cabooses, to build the carts and the stations and the landing points, so that when the people are ready to travel, we're there for them, you know?
Love you, Doze. Can we ask for a fresh voice? Somebody who's not spoken yet. Bring it.
Jamie.
I was just gonna call Jamie, and if Jamie you're not available, then Chet.
Yeah, what's up?
Hi, Jamie.
How was the town hall? Did you attend the town hall? Definitely Chet or Jamie.
Did you guys enjoy the chat on the town hall?
Now Rhett is ready. Rhett is ready.
All right, so let me try again. Is this a little better?
Yeah,
you go,
Brett.
All right, so you know, I liked the town hall. I was there for most of it. I came in like a half hour late, but you know, in general, I found it was like pretty interesting, and I think a lot of, you know, points were hit. I think Nader has definitely spent a lot of time prepping. You know, I could tell. To be honest, I felt like there were points which were intentionally dodged, but I think when you're this early on, like, that was kind of what I was getting at earlier, is I feel like everyone on this platform has to build in public except for the creator, which, you know, there's just pieces which have been left out, which are, you know, it's fine, you know, I think it's cool, like, the platform is exciting and there's definitely developments, but it definitely highlights how early we are, because, you know, like, I absolutely agree with everyone who said they wouldn't feel comfortable, you know, telling people to join the platform at the moment, because I think we're sort of in an awkward position where, you know, it's not there. So I guess I was looking for something which it's still too early to ask for, because, you know, like, I kind of felt like the marketers got, you know, like, almost canned a little bit. Like, I felt like, you know, that was just a point that I sort of feel like was orphaned in comparison to, like, you know, we talked about the small creators, we talked about, like, the new NFTs that were coming up, and then the rest of it was a dev circle jerk. So, you know, like, then for the marketers and stuff, it's like, you know, people are ready to, like, bring networks. Like, you know, like, one of the main skill sets, you know, to building community is connecting to people and providing that value. And, I think a lot of the attention that people have access to, that would spark mass adoption. So, I like the way that Natter is so confident in what he's built, and it sounds like he is very strategic, and he I've read through a lot of the hit pieces on him. He's a genius. I won't take that from him. He's an absolute genius. But I think when it comes to what's going to drive mass adoption and what's going to what the next steps are, I feel like right now I still feel like I'm kind of just sitting on my hands, trying to figure out what's what, because when the goal is to bring people value, but you don't even know where you're bringing them to, because there's potentially a new node coming, and it's things have not been made clear because he's worried about the press. It's like you're not focused on the right things if you're focusing on just the newspaper articles, because the fact of the matter is, when you have someone like IQ, as bullish as they are, you can get paid placements no matter what. The way the system works is it's really not that hard. So you shouldn't be orphaning your community for the sake of added media. But I don't know. I liked the overall points he did make. I just felt like there were a lot of things that were intentionally not addressed, which I would have liked to have heard about. But overall still bullish. Just waiting for the right time to add some.
Hey, Rhett, it's Michelle. What were the things that you think were intentionally not addressed?
Or even one big one.
I think one of the big ones was, to Jesus's point about hey, Twitter's doing this thing with NFT profile pictures. What are we doing with that? And then, the hard pivot over to, well, you can see all your NFTs on your profile. It's yeah, but you can see them almost OpenSea profile style. Whereas when you can verify the pictures and stuff, I think, that hadn't been properly handled. I think that was kind of there were multiple pivots during Jesus' point, and then I felt a few points earlier when it was hey, when Roz went up and was yo, you didn't tell anybody, and we all invested in this name, what's the feedback to that? And he's just oh yeah, we're gonna compensate everybody, and we're gonna address these things, and don't worry, we're gonna this fund is going to help all these people. But it's why not mention how? It felt
yeah, for sure.
to lay out a really broad roadmap, or even mention how he's going to bring in other people to the foundation, because at this point there's 4 things going on. There's DeSo the blockchain, there's BitClout the platform, there's DeSo the coin, and then there's the DeSo Foundation, which is meant to support the blockchain. So I feel parts of that were not addressed in order to help bring hype. So I think the coming out in public thing, that's very exciting. But I also think, almost a month ago now, Fast Freddy put out a post saying, hey, leave your comments that you want to be addressed. And, Nadir is going to go and he's going to address them for you. And then next to nothing of that was then brought in, and they basically did a whole new, leave your comments here instead, and anything that's here and gets diamonds will be addressed.
Right. Because we got diamonds. Somebody got diamonds, but I would add this, brother Rat. I feel, and if you actually check out the meme that I posted, I think that was the spirit of it, is build some shit or don't. We're moving forward, and now is the quiet time. We're not ready for mass adoption right now, guys. We're still that early. That's the cold part about it. Once Coinbase is listed, that's going to be a whole nother paradigm shift. We're not there yet, though. Now, time is moving faster because of all this technology, so we could be there in 4 weeks. You know what I mean? But now is the time with this town hall, especially the first town hall, to make sure that the town is heard, right? That's the whole point of the town hall. It's supposed to go both ways. And I know questions and moderation is needed, but we've been grown folks on this platform for 6 months, and we've learned a whole lot. But I think we've learned, if anything, to respect one another and to try to have civil discourse and to try to add value to the conversation. The fudding, as my man OG said, you know what I mean? Like, that's whack. And I think we call that out as what that is. And that's haterade, man. That's what haters do. And if you're doing something right, you're going to have haters. That means you're doing something right. Don't stop and don't give your energy to the haters. Like, listen twice, you know what I mean? And speak once. And if you got to speak. Other than that, start building, moving, connecting, finding your vibration and frequency. So, you know what I mean? I understand with you, Brother Rhett, like, you've been on the marketing side. Like, I feel like early on, you know, a key player trying to develop and build, and you did some great things. You know what I mean? I don't think he's gonna forget about any of us in these early blocks, probably up to like the 20,000 block. You know what I mean? And I hope, well, because it's time, and it's who better to spread the wildfire? You know what I mean?
I didn't hear that tonight. I didn't hear that tonight.
No. I'm not saying that we heard that at all. But I'm also saying there was speak of the funds. There's millions of something. What was the number? Something millions. That they're going to be giving to developers. That potentially they'll be working with creators. Right? Did I get that right or no?
I heard that.
I thought that I heard that.
NFTs,
Right.
creators would be funded, small active members would be funded, and developers would be funded. So in
Small, did you say small active?
Yeah, so
What's
small
that?
creators he said are specific, and then like NFT artists, and then
I think he meant most active creators. But yeah, keep on. And NFT artists.
I don't think the verbiage was necessarily based on active. I apologize. I misspoke.
Yeah, it's all good. Yep.
And in what he's actually written it in a clout, and what he said was NFT artists, small creators, and developers. So to me, it almost sounds like the marketing budget is separate, which totally makes sense in my mind. But you know, when you have people who are marketeers on your platform who want to help, you know, I'd love to just see something being like, "Yo, I see what you want to do," and like, you know,
but in my head, Brother Rhett, like I would imagine, and that's why we're having these vocal conversations and making sure that the town is heard. But you are a different kind of creator as a marketer, right? And what you've put in and what you've brought to the platform speaks for itself. I could not imagine that you would be left out. I'm not saying that he's going to include you and they sign the contract, because none of that exists, right? But off of good faith of the man now revealing his face and at least opening up the window to say, "Hi guys, welcome to Neverland." You know,
and I see how that builds trust, and I do like that he has now put a face to the name.
That's huge. That changes everything.
But it adds another factor. Like I mentioned before, with the Fast Freddy thing, putting out you know, questions almost a month ago that, you know, were then basically reset. That almost feels like a distraction from the fact that there were a lot of things that were still left unaddressed. So it almost feels like a marketing gimmick in and of itself. And you know, you brought up FUD, but the opposite of FUD is hopium. And it seems like a lot of us have been huffing hopium for a long time now. And at one point, it doesn't get you high anymore. So, you know, I'd love to just kind of see, you know, some hard answers. You know, like, I like how he came up with it. I think that kind of went off the cuff. But I love, like, I feel like there were a lot of things which, like, if he just went through and was like, listen, like, here's like a list of like 1,000 questions or, you know, 200 questions, wherever he has time to go through and give a one-sentence answer to. And he just put out a bulk doc being like, you know, here's the, you know, the big list of questions that you guys submitted, and the ones that didn't seem to have too much overlap, you know, we addressed. And then anything that did have overlap hopefully was covered within, you know, some of these other questions. And we'll do another round of this later on. So this was a great meet natter type event, but it was not a great here are your questions answered event, in my mind.
I'd
Fair
also
enough.
like to add that
I agree,
if,
and I don't know if that was the intention. I'm sorry to cut you off, Michelle, but I don't know if that was the intention. If anything, I think it was, you know what I mean, the wizard coming out and speaking to the munchkins and saying, "Hey guys, I just the yellow brick road is here, and I'm at the end of it, and this is what we're building. There's gonna be a girl named Dorothy, and let's just get there." You know what I mean? No questions. But I think now that we've received that, like, there shouldn't be much reason why certain answers, especially if they're a community poll, right, or something in that space where we all support it. I couldn't see why there couldn't be a direct, whether it be one question Zoom call or just an answer. You know what I mean? On some of the things, it shouldn't take that long, and he should be receptive because he should understand he's a conduit for the development team, the investors, for everybody to make sure that the real mass adoption starts with us, right? And us each bringing in 100 people or 1,000 people, and then thousands of people hearing about thousands of people going to this platform, and then you sprinkle in the celebrities, right? Like, it's a campaign that it doesn't start. Rome ain't built in 200 days. Like, so, I get the impatience. I get but I mean, as far as we've come, y'all, did you think we'd be here?
It's a long way. Yeah, it's come along well. I think a lot is going to get settled out when people like Raj or the other people who've put in money in projects get those things out in front of him and talk to him privately and say, hey, okay, so this is the thing, and then go from there and let them, and then get Michelle out there with this is the agenda, and let's get out those polls. Then they have an idea of what it is that needs to be done, addressed, and in what way, because they really do need like a structure to hang this thing on, so it's not just falling in a little lump with no skeleton.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know for sure he's been listening to us because, one thing caught my eye was, or my ears, was that we're all a family. That's what we say all the times. It's nice to hear that from him.
Right.
But you know how he's been listening to us.
He has to. How do you build a decentralized social platform from a centralized place without listening to people? Like, it's impossible. You know what I mean? He has to keep an ear somewhat to everybody, and so there are a lot of stakeholders. I think he needs to create a flow chart of stakeholders, and then we'd be like, oh, okay. Because
I love that we're about to go there. I hit your because. Hit your because, Dose.
No, I'm toasted. I'm excited. I know how corporations work. I know how mom and pops grow into corporations, and they all have the same fucking problems all the time. It's communication. It's, above the line, below the line conversations that need to happen because the people in the trenches have the real world understanding of NFT art, right? Like, or of anything, development, right? All these different pieces to the puzzle. So
everybody needs a seat at the table.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs a seat at the table.
Right. Risk assessment meetings, right? A risk assessment meeting is conducted with all your stakeholders, right? To talk about all the potential things that could possibly go wrong and make sure you have a mitigation plan in place to handle it. And as we move forward,
every single person, because that doesn't work in business, and it doesn't work in society. But there needs to be representation from every single part of the community. There needs to be developers, there needs to be marketers, there needs to be NFT artists, there needs to be NFT artists that focus on different genres of NFTs, because there's many genres of NFTs that currently are not being even represented, like photography, and music.
Because there's no market for it.
Right.
Not yet. The people aren't here to support all of that. You know?
I love that we're getting into diversity. And Lisa, I'd love to pass the mic back to you. That said, please click the greenhouse up top, hit the plus button.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have I'm really, really loving that I literally have 5 people in this room that I don't feel I've really spent some time connected with. That's strong. So yeah, hit the greenhouse up top, hit the plus button, and keep on bringing it. Awesome. Lisa, please.
And then I promised the mic to Chet. So after Lisa, if you could pass it to Chet, please.
Absolutely. Now, I was just saying that, the thing is that each little group of this, I've been in rooms with so many of y'all, my gosh, and you're also valuable in your own way. Y'all are incredible.
Incredible.
Exactly, the intelligence of the people that you meet here, and by and large, the integrity of the people that are on here. This is a great thing. So having those little, realms, I don't even know what to call them exactly, but say like if you think of it corporately, kind of like even though he doesn't want to have a corporation,
right.
But you've got to have some kind of structure that, okay, so I'm addressing the needs of, each of these little realms of activity, the people that are involved and for what reason, why are they here?
Right.
And kind of coming up with what is it that needs to be done to address those needs, and what are the ones that you can prioritize, because you can't do everything, but again, y'all, we can't forget it is still too early. To me, the only thing about the marketing thing is that it's just a little bit early. I know you can market all the time, but your audience has to be very precise, because not everybody, it's not ready for prime time.
What's coming? We don't know what's coming in 2 days. Maybe the marketing is setting up exactly perfect.
All of those things.
What's coming?
All
2 days later.
Hopefully.
I'm in marketing, so what's happening right now makes a lot of sense.
All of it. If you're paying attention,
is happening, and then what I think is happening. If you've been watching my photography posts, because I know marketing, people back channel me, you know something. It's no, but I see what they're doing. Something big is coming. Get excited. It's exciting. There's a lot of stuff that still pisses me off, but I'm still really, really excited. I'm not leaving ever.
No,
you guys are stuck with me.
That would be ridiculous at this point, right?
And I've been curious this whole time about what Sook is thinking.
Yes. What's good,
after
Sook?
Sook is up after Chat. Chat, what's up? Chat.
Or Sook, whoever want to jump in. It's double Dutch. So just get it.
Either one.
Chet's filling the mic on Nacho Average.
Oh, there it is. Well, I at the end of the day, if you were paying attention to some of the spaces in the conversation of things that couldn't be said, you must know things are imminent. They've been hinted to for quite some time. Coinbase being one of those things that I thought was more of a rumor that was just kind of spread to just be a rumor and excite. But in this context of the conversation that we had in an intimate one-to-one, I feel like he was being authentic when he said we were making sure from a regulatory compliance standpoint, we built this first for that, right? And so the hold up with Coinbase wasn't because something went wrong. It was a part of the plan. How they roll everything out is probably not a part of the plan, right? Because it can come out sloppy. But at the end of the day, how are you going to list something on Coinbase and then change the name? And none of this is new. Websites they can be populated pretty quick, but I feel like this was something that was long-term planned to be rolled out just like this. And things, the cart just moved before the horse, and we as a community created so much good energy, it couldn't be stopped at that point, right? We kickstarted something.
If you've ever early to anything, then everything breaks.
Right.
Oh my God, early to Facebook, early to Twitter, they break constantly. They still break, but oh my God, it was unbelievable.
But when he said that he was confident that there would be apps that would be able to be built on DeSo, if any of the mods can hear where that's coming from, just mute them, because I don't know what it is. Thank you. I forgot the hell I was saying. Yeah, I'm smoking.
That was Sammy Jim and dropping a mic on us there.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to thank Raj for bringing up you because he couldn't get gift DeSo just because we weren't told,
right,
and so it's hard.
Right.
So
yeah, and I think that's why we need to have those harsh, uncomfortable
thank you
conversations
for
now.
bringing that up, Raj.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up.
But it don't stop. It don't stop. There needs to be a follow up, Raj. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like this is an ongoing conversation. He introduced that was so intimate. I felt like he was just talking to me, And I look in the room, I'm like, oh, there's 250 people in here. Like, okay, it's not just me, but this is the core active community because we jumped in there. You know what I mean? Maybe there was a couple hundred more. That's not a lot of people, y'all. We're still that early. Like, it's not ready, but it's about to pop off. Like the track is scalable. You see Natural Average doing it. You see Gift Clout doing it. You see, you know what I mean? And they said more nodes are coming, but I can't tell. I can't speak. You know what I mean? But that excitement of more nodes, like that's where the confidence of knowing that things built on this platform, like Facebook and Twitter, could never do. And that's why those shots across the bow, you know what I mean, in the media the last few days, it's coming from a standpoint of either insanity or clear and utter understanding and comfort with his team, with the platform, with the community, with the investors, you know what I mean? But he also has to address straight to the people, you know what I mean, the problems. And those questions, like, I like the idea of a rotating mod, but you know what I mean? Whether you poll it, Michelle, I think you win it on the next go because you're amazing at that, you know what I mean? And making sure that one thing stays civil, but we still get some answers, or at least, you know what I mean? We're not going to crank open things that people don't want to speak about, right? But like we can be direct as a family. Like that's what family do. If you really love people, like you're gonna call it out, and you might have to do it in laughter and like, you know what I mean? Because I was gonna ask, in my head I was like, is Raj Pull the Musical 7 on Ice like still coming? Like I just want a confirmation from Raj on that.
That's so bad.
I so need that. I need it.
The one thing that we really need though, the like very first poll is what time is best for everyone, because we need the
Good.
best times.
That's good.
And then we also need what platform, because I don't know if everyone knows how to use Discord or Clubhouse.
Yeah, Discord, the quality is a little bit less than optimal, but Discord is where you can have an intimate community. Clubhouse is a little bit more public, so I understand the fear of that. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if you let who you know on stage to help moderate, like you can keep it under control. Don't moderate everybody. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to bring everybody up. You know.
Community is it's Discord and it's Clubhouse and it's
right.
any number
it's all
of things. It's
right.
a silent little poll
Factual.
on the interface.
Factual. Yeah.
Yeah, I just know that a lot of people in Europe could not come.
Yeah.
And they were worried about it. Like, how are we going to know?
Right.
Because no one's going to tell us because, I don't know what time it is exactly there, but right. Time zone is the biggest thing too.
Right. Well, I would say, if they're watching this on DeSo, throw comments, questions. I don't know, Michelle, if you want to start I almost think is it an NFT, a agenda, just a document. You know what I mean? Pretty much like a Google Doc. You know what I mean, on what the agenda is going to be, and then share it with the community in a way that everybody can see it. You know what I mean? I think that would be cool.
One more too. Diana brought up the language barrier
Right,
too.
right, right, right.
That's a big one
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and that's why I think like spaces like YouTube, because they do captioning, right? I don't know if they do captioning in other languages. I assume they would, but that might be a option that's more preferable. You know what I mean? Even if it's just a shared link shared on
Yeah,
DeSo.
and
You know?
Up to
I'll
you.
mention real quick that I'm sorry, Katie Ann. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I like was gonna say I like write notes all the like time.
Right.
So maybe I like can write notes
Yes, and we need meeting
and
takeaways.
to
Absolutely,
Google.
absolutely. Yeah, action items are always good too. Calls to action for the community, like training day, like we got unity day, all type of things. Like
But the thing
meme day, all those things.
is, talks like this is how we figure it out
Right. Yeah.
because we all have to have a like voice,
Right.
and we like can't find out unless we all talk.
Yeah, and I think this and the combination of the polls could work beautifully.
The other thing is, for example, I think a lot of those questions that were really technical were like things that I sure didn't understand half of
Right.
that. You
Right.
know, I was like, "Dang,
Yeah.
Clay, you're brilliant,"
Right.
but
Yeah.
but I didn't. I don't know enough for that. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean by categorizing it. So this
Right.
is going to be a discussion on that.
Right.
So that if you have some, you can go and listen to learn,
Right.
but don't think you're going to come and really give much
Right.
because you don't have anything to give if you don't really know anything
Yeah.
about that.
I think that's where the agenda could come in, right? Because you could say the agenda is for the day, but this section of the day is at this time, and this section of the day is at this time. So if there's something specific to developers, you know what I mean, they can come together and speak that talk, and we don't have to invade that space unless we want to learn, you know what I mean, and we want to listen, because some people do. Some people are trying to get it, but there's a lot of stuff that goes over my head. I at the end of the day, I just want to build dope things with you awesome people. So agenda,
and then
takeaways, Michelle as the next moderator in that space. I think in the poll space, the communication piece, Katie Ann, if you write in the notes, like the question should be like, what's the preferred way to do this? Whether that's a YouTube video, whether that's Discord.
No, what I was going to say is that the idea popped in that individuals in this room that have their own channels can just do kind of like one-on-one interviews. It seems like Nader is really stoked about getting a lot of positive media into the YouTube verse. Absolutely. And so if we do these one-on-ones where we can actually send him the questions so he can prepare and get his media people to prepare him, so that at least we're not like setting him up to fail, but like he can actually show up. And by asking the right questions, we help shape the direction of the platform. It's all in the questions, in that Socratic method. So I would say that is a great idea, and then we can all then share it on the DeSo blockchain, reclouding it and cloudcasting it and all that, so that that content gets out there, and then that just supports all of us holding the vision and aligning with it stronger. And I think the more aligned the community is on a kind of a shared vision, then there's no other community I've ever heard of that's this cohesive than BitClout and now DeSo.
I love that, man. Wow.
Speaking of DeSo, does anybody know why the rebrand?
Because it made sense. Did it feel comfortable telling your mama you was clout chasing, that you was trying to go get clout? It didn't for me. So
totally.
Cornering the market on decentralized social, knowing that there's Rally and there's others, makes it so that you were the first in everybody's eyes that first learned about it. So that's genius.
Guys, that's a better name for scaling, I think, because this is it has scale in itself. The DeSo, like DeFi, it sounds really good.
Yeah, it looks good, don't it? Next to that dollar sign.
Hey, but there's still re-clout. It's supposed to be re-DeSo.
Not quite.
Still
I mean,
waiting for that.
DeSo.
Ready, so you know that
I
what
think
Still
is
waiting.
Ready,
I think
in
we keep the
Russian?
re-clout just in spirit of the clout. Like, you know what I mean?
We
It
need
sounds very
I don't
funny.
know if I
Ready,
can. That's too much change too quick, y'all. Can we do a year? Like, let's keep the re-clout.
I mean, our creator. What if our creator coins like still going to be BitClout coins? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
could that still be? Because
Right.
essentially, BitClouts. I've got a few DOZ
Oh, that
BitClouts.
makes
I don't
sense.
know.
No, that makes
It's
sense.
just
Actually, yeah.
because that's what. And if you think about it, like the whole point of a coin price is you're investing in somebody's clout.
Right.
So
That
it
and
still
that
holds
that
true to the
context,
name.
but that context makes more sense too, right? Like it's less of a egotistical thing, more so like literally, you're trying to gain clout, right?
Well, then, because then if Gift Clout, we can
Yeah.
still say like, hey, we're still gonna when you join Gift Clout, we're gonna invest in your coin by gifting you some clout by actually helping you grow your coin price. So that could be sort of like the angle. I don't know because we've been thinking, are we gonna call ourselves Gift DeSo? Like, what the fuck?
No,
That's so
no,
crazy.
That's a
give
terrible
clout,
name.
bro. Give clout, because that's that. I mean, look at the spirit of gift clout, man. Like some people don't got no clout, so the fact that you're gifting it to me, like, thank you. All right, show me the ways. I don't know anything about this. Please make sure I don't get Raj pulled, the musical 7 on ice.
You're always forever gonna be no
I'm like the reformed cheater in Vegas. Like, all right, let me tell you
Man.
guys how to prevent yourself from getting pulled from somebody
Right,
like me.
right, but it makes sense though, man. Like, and
No.
you've got such just to me since the beginning, bro. You've been the community. Like you were in my mind, I was like, he's Diamond Hands. Like nobody knows, but he's Diamond Hands. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you a brother with a heart and a mind, and you just trying to figure shit out too. And you're having fun doing it with friends, and everybody got bills to pay. I think going forward, with the gift clout node to me has always been in my mind like that's going to be the perfect onboarding. Like I could tell my grandmother go to gift clout, and it's all pink, and she's like, "Oh Lord, this is beautiful, baby." you know, and you got the other themes and all that jazz. But at the end of the day, like in that spirit, you know what I mean. Get them introduced to supporting, these youth with NFTs. You know what I mean? Because some of these elders, like, they want to get in, but they're afraid to. They're terrified. It's too difficult. When I say elders, I'm talking, 60, 70. But they on Facebook or they're trying to figure out Twitter. And even some of them trying to figure out TikTok, man. They doing the dances and everything, bro. It's wild. But this is the future. Because I feel on the NFT side of things with DeSo, what needs to happen is the integration of a marketplace on your profile that is all of your stores and marketplaces. So if you got Tez or Hickanook, you got an On One, or you got a Cargo, Matic, you know what I mean? Or you got Big Cloud NFTs. It's all there in the same space. However you want to do it, you know what I mean? The dream would be one day they're interchangeable. You can move this one over here and ship it on Ethereum because somebody wants to buy it with Ethereum. Like, I don't know. I'm dreaming, but I feel like that's gonna make more sense because right now with the NFTs, like every time I try to find an NFT that I've minted in the past, I've got to go through an open sea of myself, and it's terrible. Like I don't want to do that. Like I literally just want to go to the tab and look at the things that I have, and then organize it, and be like, you know what? I don't want to list this one. In context of this collection, I don't want this one listed. And I had it listed and I forgot that I had it listed and I didn't take it down or whatever the case is. Even the ones that, like for me, I've got some stuff that just needs to be burned because it's filthy and it hurts me that that it's in my wallet. And yeah, I'm rambling. I digress. I will say, let's wrap this space and hold space. I think the main takeaways is one, we're going to have some main takeaways and an agenda, you know what I mean, that rolls out to the community. If we can share that, once again, join the DeSo town hall. Anytime there's a town hall, we will have a recap and review and just a rebuttal and maybe a sound bowl, or two. Just some good vibrations, man. Like, this is real serious, but it's not more serious than your mind, your wellness, your self-care, your family, your community. If you see this as an opportunity to do beautiful things on top of what you're already doing, like, do it. You know what I mean? If you don't feel confident here, come back later. Like, and the people that we're missing who ain't here yet, or aren't back, like, don't worry about them. They're going to come. That's the same shit that happened with Facebook, Black Planet, and everything else. You know what I mean? It's waves. You get your early adopters, you know what I mean? And, you get your leaders really first. It's your leaders, you know what I mean? And I think if they recognize as a DAO, we as a community of leaders with various roles, you know what I mean? And I would love to, even curate those roles like in an award show, you know what I mean? Where it's like, yo, this is what you are, you know what I mean? If you agree to it, you know what I mean? And you can tweak it and you earn that badge. And it's just a badge, a community badge. Like, yo, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Wolf Scouts, I don't know. I'm tripping.
I have a question.
DeSo Scouts.
DeSo Scouts.
There you go.
I have a question.
Go ahead with it. How you feeling? Is that Miss Sally?
Yes, it is. Could one of the leaders DM me a link or email address for the support team? I am still trying to get access to my Cherry Network account.
Okay. Yeah. So what? You're emailing the node?
If you message me, I'll help you get it set up tomorrow.
Who's
This is Cody. I've been in Clubhouse for a month listening to you ask the quote unquote community for help, and you still don't have a BitClout set up. I will help you set up your BitClout so you can have your page and just enjoy the conversation.
I think she just lost access.
It's already up. When they had a glitch some time ago, it gave me another account which I do not use.
We can handle it tomorrow. I'm happy to help you.
There it is. Beautiful things.
I'm not saying I can get your page back, but I can help you find a workaround and at least get you on the platform so you can move forward.
Make progress.
Because my little Cherry Network is just sitting there.
There it is. Well, yo,
Based
community.
on what Diamond Hand said tonight, that the identity swap is open command, so you might actually be able to get that back in the future.
True. He did speak on that.
I have a question, guys. Can I ask?
Please.
Yeah, Julie, go.
How do you think, how many time it will take for DeSo and BitClout for mass adoption? What do you think?
Me? And this is just DOZ.
You and everybody.
This is just DOZ. I'm gonna speak for
DOZ,
me.
what do you think?
My prediction for mass adoption, and please define mass adoption for us.
It's when everyone uses it.
Okay, everyone's very vague. Every one of the people on the streets who don't know about
100,000 daily active users.
how many was that, Rhett? Can you speak a little louder into the mic?
100,000 daily active users.
I think he said 100,000.
100,000. What do you think?
I'd love to take an answer to this. I think,
what's your goal?
I think mass adoption will take effect with DeSo when it plugs into something that's bigger than BitClout. And when there's a exchange or a community that potentially uses this coin and has never heard of BitClout, then we have two things going that have equal momentum. And then another one happens, and then another one happens. And so I think it's going to be the alternative communities that aren't using the coin that will grow the coin. And then I think once we have breakout NFT collaborations here, we have big price points going for the NFTs that are on site. We'll start bringing in the art community, the NFT community, and that'll drive value on BitClout. But we really, really, really have to shake out the BitClout like social network vibe fights and discussion on bullshit, and just focus on
building
the value and the technology and the future
coming together
of DeSo, because that's new to everybody. So I think we're as we've always said, ahead of the curve, but I think we're closer than we actually realize, because between Facebook, Google, Gary, all these NFT platforms are coming. Everyone's at least knows, hey, I don't know what crypto is, but NFTs are popping off, and what do you need to buy NFTs?
Right.
So
can I add on to that with my prediction, DOZ? I know I'm loud and boisterous, and but my phone's about to die in like 4%. So, my prediction is Coinbase is going to announce a social network, and that's going to get people amped up about joining their DeSo generated social network. So that's that bigger BitClout. And I would imagine that's going to be when things start shutting down in winter.
Well,
Did he
it's good
actually
prediction.
did he actually say that Coinbase is going to make a social community? Like, is that just an intuition, or was that said in the meeting? I missed the meeting.
That was listed by him in a one of his threads.
Saying what?
Saying specifically, speaking of a Coinbase social media platform. Maybe that was an interview.
But that was
He didn't say
said
that.
too.
He
It wasn't like confirmed. It was him saying that's what he speculates will happen, or what he hopes will happen, is that exchanges will then integrate social.
Word.
But there was no guarantees.
I mean, if you're on Webull, think of Webull weak ability for community to kind of build around Webull, right? It makes sense that Coinbase would have an equivalent, a social thing.
I mean, there's a necessity. Like, we can see that community and crypto, like, you can be on one app and one website and then be on Clubhouse or Discord or BitCloud and still talking about another thing that's completely a different technology. So I think partnering technologies to drive blockchain and crypto conversation and NFTs, like, super crucial. So I could definitely see Coinbase playing with the social network idea. People can talk about what they're winning, what they're selling, whatever. But I don't think it's going to be based on DeSo. I think if DeSo goes into, I sold this a couple of times. We need to see DeSo and MetaMask. In my eyes, that will be one of the biggest moves of all.
Yep, absolutely.
Cody, I'll just add that he did mention that he really wants to bring in the Ethereum group. I don't know if anybody else caught that.
No, absolutely.
Much.
Absolutely.
I did.
So that is his goal, is that kind of what you're speaking to, Cody, on that.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna take another network to really like push us forward. Yeah.
So Cody, can you please state your prediction again?
I didn't hear the town hall, and it's more of just like a tech desire. But I think functionality wise, if DeSo was available in MetaMask and you can go and transfer your DeSo into your MetaMask and then transfer it out into another coin or whatever, it would replace an exchange. It would make seamless entry into multiple sites. It would give a lot of people easier functionality to buy NFTs, and it would get DeSo going all over the place. So I think a MetaMask or some type of wallet that is more of an extension would definitely, and it's already tied into something like MetaMask is crushing. So I think that might be the next direction.
Cody, I think he was thinking.
Actually, he addressed that.
Great idea.
Yeah, he was thinking the other way around. He was almost suggesting a multi-coin. Yeah, he was suggesting a multi-coin wallet, and DeSo being that multi-coin wallet. So almost like, the other way around.
Yeah, the part he mentioned about it was
Ryan and I
that.
are making the same points. Great way of explaining it, bro.
So he's saying DeSo can be an omnipresent wallet that it's kind of like an adapter that receives everything.
Yeah, the point he mentioned is he wants people to be able to buy ETH NFTs with DeSo, not the other way around too.
Okay.
He also talked about bridging the other chains and like unlocking, rather than writing a layer 2 smart contract layer on DeSo, just using leveraging the robust systems that already exist for DeFi on Ethereum and other chains. Through bridging. And I know Daniel Wilson's already launched that with CloudBridge, which I don't know how he feels about the main chain. It probably doesn't matter too much for him as long as the tech is built out.
Well, yeah, just to reset the room.
Is this being recorded, by the way?
This is being streamed live to BitClout. It will be removed after the initial stream, but yeah, it's being captured right now. Do you have any issue with that?
No, I was just curious if it was going to live on YouTube after, but you addressed it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to just make it maybe something that the whole community owns. So NFT and name your price. I don't know how many people were on that call, 250. So make 250 and people can get access to it. How about that?
Well, thank you so much.
Hey, I don't know. I just, I'm once again impressed. I think, one of the queens spoke on it. Like, this community is amazing. When we get the egos and the bullshit and like our different cultural differences and little, things out the way, like we can wreck it, yo. Like, this is just the beginning. Like, like we were in the beta and didn't know we were in the beta, even though we knew we were in the beta. We weren't even in the beta. You know what I mean?
Bring the meta.
You know what I mean? And now we've begun day one of.
We thought we were in the beta of BitCloud, but BitCloud was just the alpha.
Exactly. And now we're in the beta of DeSo, which is ready to really, you know what I mean? Like, now he's confident that it's gonna look saucy soon, yo.
Did he address the creator coins for fake profiles at all?
No, he didn't address a slew of things, and I think that's where an agenda and takeaways and things that weren't addressed should be addressed and formalized. And
someone's got to ask him about the Elon Musk coin and if it's going to stay or if it's going to go or what's its importance and value.
Honestly, bro, I think it's the importance and value is that when Elon signs up, because everybody else is on here, he's going to have a whole lot of influence in this space. I think that's all that means. But
yeah,
Elon,
but to other crypto people, it looks like a meme coin that Elon's not even part of.
It could look to whatever they needed to look at, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even look at Elon Musk's. I don't look at most people's coin prices at this point. And I mean, maybe that's foolish on me, but at the end of the day, like, looking at communities,
it's not his coin price though. That's kind of my point. Like, right. I don't think it's fair to put someone's without their permission. And if you are going to use it, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Well, he kind of addressed.
Interesting is he still has. To be honest, he said they still have control of the. He said they still have control of the profiles, irregardless, because they brought up the swap identity,
right?
Super admin feature, and he said like one of the reasons we have that is for the reserved profiles. Although we can access them directly. This is also, then he got into like taking names like that they think will bring a lot of value. But anyways, damn it, I lost my full train of thought with that. God damn it.
No, it's all good, man. When it comes back, let it come back. Yep.
Hey, remember what he said also? Just real quick, that if Elon Musk wanted his profile removed, he would just have to send BitCloud a notice and say, hey, have it removed. So there's a reason why Elon Musk hasn't sent that yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if he reached out, hold on. If Elon Musk reached out to BitCloud, that would validate BitCloud and be a press opportunity for BitCloud.
Factual.
Yeah, but I mean, Elon Musk.
When you're that big, you're just ignoring it.
Elon Musk has like a trademark team, dude, that's like protecting his mark in Tesla and all that. So if they wanted to like do something about it, they would say something,
and it would be easy.
So my point is just like we haven't seen a lot of rug pulls, and we've seen a couple. But if there was a rug pull, could it be from the reserve profiles when they make a switch to go to Coinbase if they ever were, or to do something further?
That's already happened with Breedlove.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, if the platform decides to pull Elon and all these fake reserve accounts, where does all those funds go?
Great question.
May I add one thing on the Elon coin?
Yes.
Mercury sold his NFT for, what was it, 200 clout?
Right.
And he was paid in Elon coin.
Right. True story.
So they might be setting up some sort of press release.
I request to be paid in.
So, like, hey guys, like, so as far as like the profile thing goes, and I don't know why people are still talking about this.
Right.
This is Nick, by the way. But the profile thing, like, there are so many websites that scrape data all the time, and they scrape user profiles, right?
All the time.
And that happens. It happens all the time, and it's not a big deal The thing is, though, is like, I wish that people would ask the question. They don't. The question is, though, is not like, why do they scrape these people's profiles and put them on their own platform? The question is like, why did they decide that they could allow other people to buy those people's coins, those celebrities' coins or whatever, and act that. Well, yeah, but the thing is that they act like they are representing those celebrities, and they're allowing people to put their money into celebrity coins, and that's the part that I've always struggled with. That's the only problem that I have with BitClout and DeSo. That's the only thing. That's it.
They could have held the profile without the coin.
Yeah, and I'm almost over it at this point because I didn't.
No, you should have been over it, but it's good that you're almost there. I would say,
but they shouldn't do that.
No, they already did it, and he regrets how they did what they did. But they did what they did strategically because it was effective and efficient. A little too fast for the party, but they're pulling it together. I do want to wrap this up. I'm not going to close the room down, but this is a live recording to DeSo. Town Hall recap and review show. I just want to, throw out, if you're watching this, if you've got more questions or somebody threw out a question that you really liked that wasn't answered during the Town Hall, respond to the thread, and tag Nader, reclout it, and let's keep the conversation going. Follow Michelle Lord. I know she's going to be following up on the conversation along with Miss Katie Ann on the agenda. On the community poll, I believe we're going to use Clout Poll to test out, something simple. And then, I think we had some takeaways. We were hoping going forward that we can get a bi-weekly town hall. It shouldn't go too far, between conversations. And he should be able to listen to us and, address what he can address. And I think at the end of the day, we give it time as an organization or organism. You know what I mean? With empathy, with clarity, with that discipline, you know what I mean? With the passion, we're going to fix some things, and let's just stay active, keep it relevant. Any questions that weren't answered, cool, follow up, and love y'all. Follow the club, DeSo Town Hall for the recaps and maybe some parties and things. But I love y'all. Take care. Throw some DeSo on it if it so behooves you. Bless.
Hey, DOC, what a great space you created. Thank you so much. This has really been amazing. It's been great to just take a breath.
Yes. Breathe.
Yeah.
We need Lisa. We need Lisa in there too for the town halls, right? Is that before the town hall maybe? So people don't get in there so antsy.